Mr. Howe, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Todd. How are you today?
I'm doing just great. I had no grandchild duty for 3 days consecutive now, so I'm
Okay.
I'm feeling a little higher energy.
You got energy, no broken
Yeah,
bones, no
no
damages
broken
to the
bones,
house.
no.
That's
No,
great.
I got
That's
stuck.
good.
I got stuck playing a game on the floor last week for a good 2 hours, and I
Oh,
almost didn't make it up.
oh, gee. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. Getting old is a it's a bitch. So,
Well, but you do. I think your taste buds get better as you get old. You get more
oh, I hope so.
discriminating and more schmott.
I hope so.
Hey,
I
we
get
got
smart.
we got some legitimate bottom shelfer samples today, I think.
Yes, we did. We'd actually found something that we both could buy.
Yeah.
A little cheaper in Georgia, but it's still considered contenders to bottom shelf. So we'll
It-
see how that
yeah.
goes. But
No, and I
before,
have to I have to acknowledge the effort you expended when
hey,
it was just yesterday, was it?
yeah,
You asked me to send you the link to the liquor store I was
oh
going
yeah,
to go to.
yeah,
And
we
you
did
had
that.
what, like six different possibilities?
Yeah, I got those. I checked out the two liquor stores near me and got your liquor store also online and did a comparison and said they would have them in stock. And we got at least two that were both there. So luck
I
or
just
just skill?
skill. Oh my
Skill,
gosh,
of
skill
course.
and dedication. And
So
I'm so
commitment,
proud. I'm so proud to be
commitment.
associated with a
That's it,
hardworking
man.
guy like you.
Sacrifice for the
But what do we
team.
got? What do we got? Go ahead. You
Well,
introduce them there.
wait a minute. Before we get started, I was thinking
What?
about
What?
when I was doing some research today. They talked about char, and I thought we maybe
Yeah.
should talk briefly about char. There's four levels of char. So,
Okay. Well,
so
I could have told you I think there are four levels, each
yeah,
one getting a little darker. And I
and we
think
saw
that
that at a few spots in Louisville when we were down there, but I never got the details. So I looked it up, and
yeah,
just for our listeners, our numerous listeners,
all of them.
all of them.
Pretty
Level
sure we
one.
picked up another one this week. Pretty sure.
Okay, I hope so. All right. Level one is 15 seconds.
That's
Okay.
all?
That is all.
Now that you say that, and I think I guess I knew that.
Okay. And that gives you some subtle vanilla and floral notes, is what they say.
Yeah.
Level two is now 30 seconds.
Okay.
So, and we've seen that. I mean, that is a hell of a flame they create into the
Well,
barrel.
yeah, I've seen the blast of the gas going through the full barrel. It's pretty impressive, actually.
It is. It is. It's great for s'mores if you get
Is
close
it?
enough. Now level three is 35 seconds. It says it develops more
Now, wait a minute.
caramelization.
That doesn't make sense. You go
5 second
15,
more.
30, and then 35.
Correct. And then for level
Okay.
four, I mean level four is 55. So that's when
Ooh,
you
these
really,
guys,
really
I'll
get
tell you, I know what happened. The guys that invented the char levels,
they
they
messed up.
they no, they started drinking when they did the first one and decided that was 15 and had another drink and then did 30. And then they kind of lost track of what they
That's
were doing
it. Then they
for
lost
level
track.
four.
So the last one was alligator char. So one of these today.
There's a
Um,
three and a four, right?
Yeah, that's the Jim Beam's a three and Old Force is a four. So I just thought it'd be interesting so people knew where you get the flavor, the color. Yeah, it's all around the chart.
And what else? I knew vanilla. I knew the char brought out more vanilla. What was the other flavor you just mentioned?
Oh man, a couple flavors: caramelization, vanilla, spicy. One's caramel, dark fruit, and level four. Level two brings out a little coffee, vanilla, some spice notes. So we might see how that works today.
Holy cow.
More
Well, all right.
pressure,
Well,
more
okay,
pressure.
now, gee, I tell you, you did the research on finding the bottles to begin with. You've done char research. I see you've got one poured already. You do,
Yes, I do.
nobody even knows what we're tasting today, Rick.
Okay, okay. Go for it. You let them know.
No, well, I, I'm flabbergasted. I'm very flustered now. Well, we got Jim Beam Devil's Cut, that'll
Okay.
be fun to talk about. You know, the old, I mean, kind of, I don't know how long it's been around. Not maybe 8 or 10 years, something like
Yeah,
that.
not long, not long.
I mean, Jim Beam's been around for forever,
Right.
but
Yeah, you and I went there. So we've been there. We
yeah, a
bottled, we
couple
actually
times.
bottled Knob Creek there.
Yeah. And the other one, we've done an Old Forester. We did Old Forester 90, correct?
I thought it was
Couple
86,
of
but
months back.
86, I think. So,
86, you're right, 86. And this is the Old Forester 100 proof.
right. And it's not bottled in bond.
Hey, well, yeah. See, I never quite understood bottled and bond. Isn't that just
It
an
has to
obsolete,
be,
the
God, it
tax
has to be
collector
what?
comes and
One distillery, same bottle, same. It's all those things we did. We talked about before, but this is
yeah.
not bottled in bond. It doesn't fall into that bonded, regulations.
Well, I'm convinced that bottled and bond doesn't mean beans anyways. But
Smoke and mirrors.
smoke and mirrors, yeah. So which one? I know which one you're going to say we should do first.
The
Should
devil.
I should I tell you why?
Yeah, tell me why. What's it?
Well, because the Devil's Cut is 90 proof and the Old Forester's 100 proof, so it makes sense to go with the lower proof sample first, so you don't blow out the taste buds.
Sounds good to me. Great
Is that
idea.
right?
Yeah.
And I am pouring into a McLaren glass, of course,
Okay.
because that's how you can do the nosing better that way.
Hmm.
Wow.
What do you
I'm
think of
not
the
getting
nose?
I'm not getting a whole lot right off the and getting the I'm getting oak, I think.
Cinnamon.
Well, of course you would say cinnamon.
Yeah, where's the apple?
No. No. No, I don't detect any apple so far either. Now we should, we didn't talk about Devil's Cut. Let's take a sip first, though. Whoa, man, the oak's coming through.
Oh yeah. Very good.
And now I'm not going to say apples, but I am getting
Fruit.
more on the finish. I'm getting some fruit,
Yeah.
more
It's
like
close
for
to
I had a plum, in fact, for breakfast this morning,
yeah.
and I don't know if that's just is in my brain. I'm kind
Uh,
of getting a plum
Not bad
kind
though.
of
I
a
mean, it's considered their premium, one of their premium brand liquor bourbon. It's one
well,
of their premium.
I mean, you went through. Did you do any research on Devil's Cut and why it's called that and how it's made?
Yeah, yeah, they
Because I actually, oh, of course, you're
you know.
showing
Go
off
ahead.
today.
Nah, you know what? Devil's
Well,
Cut.
I mean, everybody's familiar. I shouldn't say everybody, but the Angels share. It
Okay.
refers to once the bourbon is put into the barrel and the barrel's put into the rickhouse, every year a little bit. I want to say like 2 or 3%. Does that sound about right? Evaporates out of the barrel.
Yeah.
And that's traditionally been referred to as the angel's share. That
Right.
gets away and it's for the angels, and we don't get to taste that part.
And that creates the higher costs because they lose a lot of bourbon in the barrel.
Well, yeah, exactly. So you get like Pappy Van 3, for example.
Right.
It's going to sit in a barrel for 23 years and lose 2 or 3% a year. Half the barrel's gone.
That's correct. So,
So that
and you
that will
don't want
cut
the
the.
young stuff because it doesn't have the flavor. So it's a balance.
Where's the balance between cost and flavors, and
Right.
what happens if you have something in a barrel for 20 years and it turns out bad? That would be a
Again,
terrible.
they do, depends on who, but they do move the barrels up and down, changing
And they
temperatures. So
taste them. They
that
taste them.
regulates some of the loss.
No,
So
the
what's
devil's cut. The
what is
devil's
it?
cut, on the other hand, and I'll do this without being cynical. I'll slip to cynicism in a few minutes.
Okay.
That they take some of the aging process. What makes the bourbon taste good from the oak barrel is as temperature increases, the wood expands, the liquid is drawn into the wood. When it cools, the liquid gets squirted back out, and so the bourbon is going in and out of the wood over the course of time when it's in the barrel.
Right.
And so what Jim Beam has done is they will age the whiskey dump it out as they normally do and bottle. Well, not bottle it yet, but they'll, I guess, store it in another container. And then
Before,
they
yeah.
extract the alcohol remaining in the barrel. And the most I could find out about it is what I think what they do, it's a little unclear, is they just put water into the barrel after they've emptied it and
Hmm.
squish it around a little bit and then
That's
dump
it.
that out. And then that's the devil's cut. And then they add it back to what was in the barrel originally.
Yeah, I thought it was, yeah, I thought it was more sophisticated than that, but I don't know. I couldn't find
I
anything.
don't,
I thought they'd put it into pull a vacuum or something and, kind of
I,
withdraw or temperature
I
or,
would thought pulling a vacuum was the first thing I thought, but what kind of the one thing that did sort of make sense to me is they put water in the barrel and then extract that out. That's the water they use to proof the whiskey.
okay. I thought
So
it
if it's
was,
coming out at 135, 140, they'll use
yeah,
that water from the barrel, the devil's cut, to proof it down to 90.
yeah. So they say this is up to 6 years old. So maybe that's with, I don't know, the mix of the extraction, but
Now, I didn't
77,
see
what?
up to six. Okay.
Yeah, I would say up to
I
six.
couldn't find
That's
anything
all I
about
can find.
age.
4 to 6.
Hmm.
Um, the mash bill is still heavy corn, 77 corn, 13 rye, 10 malted barley. Um,
Yep.
how do you what do you
Yeah,
think
that's
on the?
kind of a traditional Jim Beam.
It is, yeah. It's probably
Yeah.
every.
I mean, it's all right. It's not knocking my socks off.
No, the mouth feels not bad. It's not creamy, but it's not water thin. You get
No,
that?
and it is kind of light on the, yeah, it's certainly not creamy, but not water thin. Okay, I'll go along with exactly what you said.
Okay.
And you'll be pleased to hear this. The back end, the very back end, the end of the finish, I am getting a little cinnamon.
Okay.
Okay, so I said that for you. Did
It's the
I?
sweet. It's a combination of if you put the pepper and some sweetness together, then you get more of a cinnamon. If you eat cinnamon powder, put it on your tongue, you get that flavor. Try cinnamon for breakfast next time.
Like, next time I come to your house, I want that for breakfast.
All right, no problem. On apples, cinnamon on apples.
No apple. Actually, cinnamon on apples is pretty good.
I know.
Are you getting any vanilla? Because I would think it,
Not
just
much.
I'm not either, and I kind of expected more when you're doing all this talk about getting extra liquid out of the oak, and the vanilla taste comes primarily from the oak, as I
Yeah.
understand it.
Their description on the website says oak and vanilla, apple and cinnamon, but I'm missing some of something. Some.
I'm getting a little bit of fruit, but a heavier. Well, like I said earlier, like I had the plum for breakfast. Maybe that's what's making me
Yeah,
think of it. But
it's the oak. It's intense. Doubling up the oak, It's not
hmm.
double oaked, but it's still a heavy oak.
Well, it's interesting because it's a good comparison. It'd be interesting to do uh like a Woodford double oaked. What was the other double oaked one?
Oh, there's a few out now.
Yeah. Be interesting to do one of these side by side with the double oaked because this
Yeah.
isn't. I wouldn't call this smooth.
No,
I mean,
but
it's a
it's
little
not.
bit. It's
It's
not
not.
rough. It's
No, I don't know.
time for some water drops there.
The finish, just lightly pepper, cinnamon. That's all I get.
That's a little bit of pepper, cinnamon. I'm really getting cinnamon clearly on the finish, and
Okay.
the oak is there.
Oak's prominent. That's
Yeah,
just in your
from the
face.
beginning to the end, it's all
Yeah.
oaky oaky. And this you said is the number three char, right?
I'm guessing at that. I could never find that, but most Jim Beam I thought was number 3, but
Yeah. The color's not that dark.
no, it isn't. For the char, I thought it's more of a what would I call it?
Well,
Amber?
especially you say up to 6 years too. You'd think it'd be a little darker than that.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what the water and the putting in the previous.
Yeah.
So amber, it's not dark amber.
No.
I,
Okay, where are you on? Well, a little premature to rate it yet.
no, I would say that it's a dark amber. It's got an average color.
Well, I'm
No,
just kind of looking over at the that's in the bottle yet. The Old Forester's
that's
looks
dark.
quite a bit darker. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself.
I don't know. It's hard to tell with the I can't tell in the bottle, so. But neat. I thought that I could sip it neat. How about water now?
Yeah, let's try the official 3 drop bottom shelfer. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
I get more finish. I'm getting more. It opened up a little bit of the mid early finish, but there's nothing. There's a slight.
I think I'm getting a little more. I'm noticing vanilla more than I did.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that.
That's really it and the mouth feels a little. Not that it was harsh before. I'm trying to think of the right word as we were talking about, but it's a little bit smoother, I
Yeah.
think. And that never ceases to amaze me how some whiskeys change so much with just that teeny amount of water.
Right.
Actually, I think that's kind of I like it quite a bit more
Yeah.
with the drops in it.
I mean, there's a mid-level finish that just hangs there, but it's
Yeah.
not. It's 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 enough. It's enough to know you had a bourbon. It's smooth, 90 proof. Hmm.
No, you know what? I was kind of ho hum before the water drops. Now with the water drops, my brain shifted to, hey, that's not bad. In fact, pretty good for 20. What did I paid 22. So
I did
23.
30.99.
Really? Oh, that's a big dip. That's a bigger difference than normal.
Yeah.
Are the tariffs higher in New Jersey?
No.
No. Well, I'm anxious to go to cubes on this one.
Okay. One cube. All two. How
Yep.
many cubes?
Because my ice machine crapped out in my
Oh no.
fridge. But
So what do you
fortunately,
do?
I have a lot of the large cube
Oh
tray.
yeah, I'm saving that for later.
Well, just for our recording session today, I have to use large cubes. So does that mean I have to pour
You
enough
might
to
have
cover
poured,
the
you got to
cube?
pour a little more in then.
Because I might not
Okay.
make it. I might not make it through the whole thing.
So as we're getting set up here, what do you think of the bottle? How do you feel about the
It's a
bottle?
eh,
Good. Good grip.
it's good.
Uh,
I like the rectangular bottles better for exactly that reason. For the old arthritic fingers and thumbs, the rectangular bottles easier to grab. It's not though.
yeah.
I am still in terms of bottles. I got to go back to the Green River.
Oh yeah, the
That's
thumb hold.
still, yeah. We got the thumb hold thing on that.
You know what? It's the label doesn't, you know, just for some reason the label doesn't throw me. Screw cap,
Yeah,
yeah, that's all right.
it's kind of I've had that feeling like Jim Beam for whatever reason. It doesn't have any of the coolness factor.
Right. The shelf presence, it's just okay, there
Yeah.
it is. So what do you think? I see. Oh, I'm smelling vanilla now.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I got way more vanilla on the ice cube. I was about to talk about how it always seems a little sweeter on ice. I'm not getting a lot more sweetness, but the vanilla is way clearer.
I lost the pepper, the mild burn. That's gone.
Well, the burn I gone. There's still a little hint of cinnamon on the finish though. And this is me now talking about I don't know I'm gonna get the cinnamon anywhere near as strongly as you do.
Hmm.
I'll tell you what, I was very ho hum, just neat. I think the 3 water droplets probably because of the vanilla that came out.
Yeah.
I liked it better. And I like it even better still on the cube.
Oh yeah.
I do.
Okay.
Although I'm in the 2.5 range. That's kind of where my brain is.
Yeah, that's overall I'm giving it two and a half. Yeah.
But we have to
Appearance.
make a decision now between 2 and 2.5.
2.5.
I'm going to go 2.5 also.
Yeah, it's
And
very
especially
average.
because, well, and a kind of a rule of thumb, and I don't know if I've ever thought this out loud before, but I will tend to, if I'm just, at home and I'm going to have a little touch of something, and if I pull out a good bottle, an expensive one, a
Neat.
Weller or an Eagle Rare or one of, I'll drink that neat. And if it's a cheaper bottle, I'll put it on ice. And maybe that's an unconscious decision over the years. Cheaper stuff, put it on ice because it tastes a little better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hate to
Oh,
cut the good stuff. Mm.
yeah, but sometimes that ice brings out a better flavor too,
Mhm.
as we discover with some of these tastings.
And I think, well, this one, I'm definitely, well, I like the vanilla flavors anyway. The oak and the vanilla, and those are, the oak is so clear. I forgot to talk about it again. You really,
Yeah.
that must be that second extraction they get.
Yep. Yeah. That's well, they came up with
I'll
something
give it.
unique and different.
I'll tell you what. This is a good service from the bottom shelfers. I think this fits right into the category of what we set out to discover to begin with.
That's right. It's affordable in Georgia
You
as a
know,
bottom shelfer.
yeah, especially if you it's a better deal for me than you.
That's right.
I mean, for $23, I
That's
could
not
I
bad.
would I could serve this at a party. I wouldn't
Yeah.
give it to bourbon aficionados, but
No, you put it
even
in
well,
you
even a
put it
bourbon
in a
aficionado
decanter.
that I don't like too much, like you, I'd serve
Yeah.
this to you.
Yeah, I would put it in a decanter without a label and serve it to you to say it's the best.
That's always.
Would you like some Pappy?
Would you like some Pappy? All right. Well, I was pleasantly surprised by that. My expectations were low.
Yeah. It's still
Again,
again
it didn't.
it fits it's like you said. Our purpose here is to find affordable
Yeah.
bourbon that's somewhat good, add some value. And the Devil's Cut hits it.
Yeah.
2.5. That's the
Yeah.
that's
Two
right,
point
right
two
in the
point
middle.
five. And we'll see where that comes out on the scale. That's going to be pretty good, I think.
Okay.
Well, let
Cleanse the
me,
palate.
let me, geez, I got my calculator right here. So we got a 2.5 divided by 22.99 comes out at 10.87.
So it's not affordable up here then, huh?
So that's pretty good. I was going to say uncorked the old Forester, but that would be an incorrect statement.
That's right. Here we go with this aluminum screw cap, and we had on Devil's Cut was a plastic screw cap. So
And why does the plastic, you would think plastic would have a cheaper feel than metal, but doesn't the metal cap feel cheaper?
oh yeah, and it's kind of like will it seal itself? Do I have to drink it all?
Yes.
I don't want it to get flat.
No,
All right.
bourbon goes bad. Once you open it, you got to finish it off. That's a lot darker, huh?
Yeah, it is darker. Now,
Hmm.
is this gold brick? I mean, I'm looking at a color, dark amber brick mahogany. This is not brick.
Mahogany.
You think it's
That's
mahogany?
Yeah, that's pretty dark color. I don't have the chart in front of me, but
Okay. Yeah, that's dark. That's dark. Now, that's because of the char was number four.
all right. So are we going to get more vanilla and oaky stuff out of this? What do you think?
I have no
I'm not
idea.
I'm not getting vanilla on the nose. I'm getting it reminds me of my grandmother's flower garden almost. You get flowers out of that? That's a little I didn't am I losing my mind or do I smell
I'm getting almost candy.
Candy?
Yeah.
Like sweet, you mean?
Yeah. I'm getting sweet stuff.
A little bit. I'm getting now that I took a big snort there, I'm getting a little bit of spice. This is pretty high rye. What's the
18.
72,
It's
18?
72.
Yeah, 72 corn, 18 rye, 10 barley. It took a while, but I'm getting a little of the spiciness.
It got a little spice. I get again the chocolate. You smell any chocolate in there? Sweet.
Whoa.
I get.
Have you
Uh-oh.
taken a sip yet?
No, not yet. I'm still struggling. Trying to find it.
Wow.
You all
That's
right?
got some that's got some heat to it. I did not expect that. I mean, it is 100 proof, so that's pretty high octane, but did that the heat get you a little bit there?
It's snuck up on me. That's a sneaky bastard. Man, that thing. It's just
Yeah.
it just crawls in and then all of a sudden, pow.
It's probably a good second and a half, 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, in the back
And
there.
then the heat okay, it's not just me then, because I sipped
No.
it and I'm trying to think of the flavors and it's like, holy crap.
Oak. There's oak. I can tell you that
Well,
again.
now I have to think what I'm getting. Oh, I'm getting spicy, peppery.
Yeah. Clove. That's what they say in their you ever
Whoa.
have a ham with the clove and you have that clove? That to me hits right here.
Yeah, it's a good thing you described it because when you first said clove, I'm thinking I have no earthly idea what clove tastes like. But I have had it in a ham. And you're right. Man, you were on a roll today, Hal.
Oh man. I'm
You've
gonna have to break I'm gonna
you've
break
been,
out the good stuff to celebrate later.
yeah, you've been working out or something?
Yeah, I did. Oh, you're talking
Yeah.
about bourbon. No.
Wow. I'm
Yeah,
getting it. Oh, the pepper. How about that?
yeah.
I'm getting back a little bit of vanilla again. Fruits. I'm getting fruits, not apples.
Oh, come on. Come on, try that.
No, more like a heavier, like cherries, like those dark red, what do you call them? Bing cherries?
Yeah, the ones that you get in old fashions, the
Yeah,
darks,
yeah.
the good ones.
And maybe I'm thinking back to my childhood. I used to love fig Newtons. Did you like fig Newtons as a kid?
No,
I think so. Oh,
no, I
why am
didn't.
I asking? You don't like anything.
That's a texture issue.
Okay. Like tomatoes, is that? No, sorry.
No,
No, we're
that's
not going
another
there.
issue.
I'm,
That's another
I,
issue.
apo-
I
I
got plenty of
apologize.
issues.
I apologize to you and the audience for even bringing that up. Meat and potatoes. I know. No, but
Uh,
there is some. I get the fig kind of fruit and those dark cherries.
I get apple, oak, nutmeg, yeah, the vanilla.
Apple?
Yeah, I get apple at the end.
Yeah, yeah. At the end. Okay, I'm with you. Hey,
Well, no,
this is pretty.
think about it. I mean, all the oak is, okay. What do you think?
Well,
Mouth
and
people?
I have to add another comment. There's a lot going on here. Because I'm just thinking, we went like first that heat got me. That was the first thing kind of blew me back. And then the fruits came through, the cherries, the figs, the little touch of vanilla,
Now, the
and then
heat
the
though,
pepper came in there, and then
on
the
your
apple at the end. There's a lot of different flavors.
on your second hit, your second sip, did you get that same impact, that same sneak up in the face, or it
Well,
kind of
it's
mellowed
there, but
out?
I'm ready for it now.
Okay, see, I don't, yeah, so that changes the
So
dynamic.
no, in all honesty, it did. I didn't notice it as much, but I think it's not that it went away. It's just that I
Right.
think I'm prepared for
Well, I can still feel my lips. That's all that matters.
it. Hey, the finish is nice too, isn't it, Rick?
Yeah, it is. It's not long, but it is
It's
comfortable.
well, it's not short either.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be a medium length finish. Is that
Hmm.
that's not long or short? That would I think that's the correct terminology.
Halfway there.
Yeah.
All right, let's do water
Water
drops. Oh,
drops.
yeah, you're right. I think you're right about the finish. It's still it hangs
The
there.
finish,
I just took another sip.
it's a
It is
little
good.
deceiving.
Yeah, it
It
is.
mellows out a lot and it gets milder, but it hangs in. It's more than a medium length finish,
Right. And it's not just in the back. It's the
but
full mouth.
it's subtle. It's
Full
subtle. You have to
mouth.
have
Yeah. It
it's
lingers.
yeah. It lingers. I, I have to show you. I have to find it. I wrote a note to myself this morning after I got back from the liquor store, and I wrote a note and I said, see if we can get through an episode without using the word linger or lingering. And well, we failed again at
We
that.
failed.
It does.
Well, I'm
The
just
finish lingers. It
describing.
lingers longer than medium finish. How about that?
Okay, so what do you want to call it if it's not lingering? Loitering?
No. Well, no, loitering has a different connotation to it. Boy,
Wow, that's nice.
it's here's another one where the those water drops are pretty dramatic.
Yeah.
The heat is still there, no
Yes,
doubt, but the water really, really kind of improved it.
it did.
It
It
knocked a little
mellowed,
of
but
the edge,
extended.
yeah,
Mellowed
mellow in
and
it. Yeah, yep, yeah. So not quite as intense, but it hung in there longer.
hmm.
It lingered, I suppose.
Ah,
Well, what was that? What was that sound? Was that a positive sound?
I enjoyed that. That was
Okay.
good.
This is so far, uh I'm going Old Forester ahead of the Jim Beam.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
But I
I
don't
need
want to be
ice.
prim. We gotta get the ice first. You finished
Oh,
the whole did you finish the whole Glencairn there?
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
how big a shot did you pour yourself?
Half ounce, maybe.
Oh, all right. I'm impressed with how did we rank the 86 Old Forester?
Oh, I don't think very, I would say not very high, but I don't know.
Yeah, I thought that's what my recollection was kind of meh. This is
I thought
nice.
we didn't, I mean, I think we're giving the low proofs a biased opinion sometimes because you think you're missing some of the high proof. You think you're going to get more flavor, more intensity,
I
but
don't
we're
know.
finding that it's not the case all the time.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
I got,
Old Forester was never on my, if somebody were to ask me, for what bourbons do I like, I would
uh-huh.
never say Old Forester.
No, well, the whiskey
But
roast,
having said that just now, I'm really kind of pleased with this.
yeah, I am too. The whiskey roast series, is what they're focusing on now. I forget what they
Wait a
call
minute.
it.
Whiskey, I am not familiar with the Whiskey Rose series, so enlighten my
We had a
subsequent.
few of those when we did. It was like the 1920, the 18 something. They have the different dates on them. The prohibition
Oh, the Old
series.
Foresters. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
when they call them the whiskey roast series because they put some dates
Okay.
on. And
Yeah, yeah.
I did a tasting on a cruise a couple of weeks ago, and the prohibition one was fantastic. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would recommend that one.
No, well, okay. So there is an Old Forester Prohibition special. What? I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, it is. It's just all right. I smell oak, vanilla.
Oh, geez, I got to get back to taste because I had an interesting comment to make, but I got to taste it first. All right, you know me. There's the vanilla and the sweetness. I didn't think sweetness at all drinking it.
Wow.
You get a little sweetness there?
Oh yeah, but the still finish. I don't want it to be overly sweet. but it's not
No,
it's
it's just a little touch of it.
yeah,
Even the vanilla's mellow,
right.
but I'm getting the fruits in there and the pepper and well, the heat's still there.
Yeah, it's
No, but
comfortable.
I wanted to, no, this is important to point out because I have to see if I can find it on the bottle again. Uh, no, it's on the bottle somewhere, but it talks about how it was distilled before, during, and after Prohibition, which means that Old Forester 100 proof anyway is can be used for medicinal purposes.
I feel better already knowing that.
So, okay,
Yeah.
so back during Prohibition, Old Forester was one of the doctor prescribed cure-alls.
Good.
So that's good. That's good to know. I figured you'd want to know that and keep that in mind.
Damn, it's covered by Medicare. I'm in on it.
Can you get, is alcohol covered by food stamps? No, I guess not.
I don't know.
But RFK Jr. is going to take soda out of that. Let's not. Why did I bring that up? I have no idea.
Sorry, this is
This is
not
not,
the
no.
right forum. Not the right forum for this discussion.
I stand here chastised.
We'll ask the editor to do his job. So,
Look at it. Wait a minute. I'm the editor.
oh, sorry. All right, so I think this is better than 2.5 because
Yeah. It was in my head. I was going to say 2.5, 3, and it's like, nah, this is a 3. This is a good strong 3.
well, out of the two here, this is Old Forester. For me, it was $4 more, and for you, it's probably a couple bucks.
For me, it was 22.99 also. That doesn't sound right. Did I write that down wrong? I thought the Old Forester was a little. No, both these bottles were 22.99.
That's perfect bottom shelf prices.
I'll tell you what, Old Forester 100 is might just be.
No,
It
I
might just
wouldn't.
be top of the pile because we had the benchmark small batch was up there.
But I would say they're both. I would not give it mid shelf. I would just say this is a bottom shelf find that you should try.
Oh, I'm going
You
to give it a
thinking? You
little
thinking?
more. I'm going to be a little more aggressive on recommending this one than you just
No,
were.
no. And I'm in a
Now,
good
so
mood.
now wait a minute, because you paid what was it? I was $23 and you were what?
34. Maybe that's pissing me off that I have to pay off.
34?
Yeah,
I told you should move the hell out of New Jersey.
yeah. They'll tax me if I do that. I can't do that.
34?
34.
That's that's
Hey, the
11
bottom.
bucks.
Hey, bottom
11
shelf.
bucks more expensive. That's crazy.
Bottom shelf in New Jersey is $40 or below. So,
Did they see you coming? They saw you
yeah,
coming.
yes, they did because I had the bottom shelfer's hat on. They said, "Oh, here he comes."
Well, here, wait a minute. I wish the audience could see. But here, do you feel a
Yeah, all
little
right.
better now?
Yeah, that's it. Now your tastings both taste better now that you're wearing the hat. So yeah, I think it's all right. I give it a 3. And again, my opinion, it stays on the bottom shelf, but it's don't shy away from it.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you can find your way to Tower Liquors on Piedmont Avenue in Atlanta, Buckhead specifically, and you can find it for 22.99, I would buy this all day long at
Oh
22.99.
yeah. Yep.
In fact, that has this thing at that price in my book has a contender for, maybe my everyday bourbon.
Uh-oh. Whoa.
Because you know
Whoa.
me for a long time.
Oh
And
man.
I've been a Maker's Mark and a Woodford Reserve guy for the everyday kind of sipping whiskey. I I am ready to throw Old Forester right up there
You know what?
with those two.
Let's make sure you send this to Old Forester so when we go down there and do their crawl,
They'll give us free stuff.
I'll give, they'll know who you are. Roll out the red carpet.
Well, they already know who we
Oh,
are.
okay.
Or
There.
me. They know me anyway.
Welcome, Todd. Okay, they'll have the sign out there. Yeah.
Uh, this was,
That's
I'll
good.
tell you what, this was a good day.
Yeah, it was a good couple good
Uh,
finds. Our
yeah,
next,
I have to say I expected more out of the Jim Beam Devil's Cut. I don't know
me
why.
too. I'm
It's
just,
just a cool idea, the Devil's Cut,
yeah,
the aim.
I'm not
Maybe that's
disappointed.
more a marketing thing than anything else.
Yeah, I didn't have
But
high
it's okay.
expectations.
Two and a
So
half. The Old Forester is well, I'm very impressed with the Old Forester.
yeah. Well, we've had, again, I've had a couple of different tastings with them. We only did the 86, but the other ones I've had with them are very good. And plus the ones we did down in Louisville, the 1920, I think was one of my favorites. So,
The
and again,
1920, yeah.
that was
Yeah.
the Whiskey Row series we did there. So maybe when we do the next the February trip, we'll do that again since it's right there on
Is
the road.
that have you gotten your son in line yet for the dates on that?
Commitments, yes. The commitments are there. It's just a matter of, I have to, money has to be put up front, tickets. So
Well, you can handle that.
I know I
But
will.
the market was up again today.
This is not the forum for that kind of discussion again.
Because oh, that's right, because they're all going to be listening. Yeah. Just for the
Yeah,
record.
yeah.
Just for, no. All right. In honor of our 50-year friendship, I will. Is it 50 years or 51 now? I forget.
51, 52.
Would have been
51,
1970, what?
51.
Three?
73 is when I went there in freshman year, but then it's 54 is really, no,
It
74
really
is when
would have been
we,
74. Yes,
yeah,
1970.
74 is when we really connected with Theta Delta. Okay. So
Beta Delta
again,
Chi.
that's a different story. We
That's a
should,
whole different. But
but this was
that was where I was introduced to whiskey,
whiskey. Yeah.
among other
No,
things.
we set the record at the grad
Yeah.
center
All right.
bar.
Okay. I think it's time to stop talking.
Okay.
All right, my friend. I think we served humanity again. I
Yeah,
am
we
going to come
found.
out and say the Jim Beam Devil's Cut is an okay choice. Give it a
Yeah.
try. It's worth buying a bottle and talking to your buddies about it. The Old Forester 100, if you can find it for the $23 as I did, I think that is a major contender to be your everyday bourbon.
Yeah, that was very
I'm
good.
very impressed with the price performance of the Old
Yep.
Forester.
Price is good. Flavor is good. I think these things are both of these play well into what we're trying to do. So hopefully we've saved a couple of bucks for people out there who want good bourbon.
Okay. Serving humanity is what we do. All right,
Yeah.
my friend.
Tough
A
job. Tough
Friday
job.
night. Enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, will
And
do.
we have to get another one of these scheduled because we got to get through the rest of the list of you.
Yeah, I have. We're gonna have a guest. We just got to figure out what we want to do and what the contenders are going to be.
Here, let me say this right now. I want to do, if I can find it, because I have not been able to find it, is the Rebel small batch.
Okay, I think I can find it, but you got to
Yeah,
check that out.
I think it's going to be more of a problem for me.
Okay, but I got our guests lined up. I just got to make sure we coordinate. Um, with
Did
the
you
two
say
contenders.
guest or guests with an S?
One, uno,
Uno guest.
uno for the our.
Okay. Close, close enough. All right, buddy. Hey, have a good weekend, my friend.
That's right. Cheers.
Take care, buddy.
All right. Adios.